Hello, everybody. Brother Ed coming to you once again from Louisville, Kentucky. Probably not going to be on here very long today. Just I don't know, maybe two or three things I want to go into. This young woman who got shot, the 16-year-old girl. Why was she in foster care? And from what I'm hearing, she was in foster care for a very long time, many years. It sounds like probably most of her life. One of her sisters, may have also been in foster care. That tells me there was something definitely wrong going on with their mother, possibly the whole family. What? Do we know for sure? I don't know. I haven't really heard a whole lot of details about it. I can only tell you what my experience has been. And this has nothing to do with color. It has to do with a lack of education, which breeds lack of income, which puts people oftentimes in a state of financial dependence on the government. There is no independence of any kind, not really. I mean, it's not uncommon. I've seen it happen too many times. Regardless of color, people get depressed or they get to feeling hopeless because they think that somebody somewhere is trying to do them harm. Well, they're right. People are trying to do them harm. And it generally tends to be, a lot of the time, the very people that they're voting for that keep giving them all the free stuff, like paying for their housing, providing them with SNAP so they can get free food. You know, the list goes on. Putting people in a state of governmental dependence, which just keeps them in poverty, enabling them to just stay pretty much depressed and want somebody to blame for the situation that they're in when poor things just can't seem to see that they're the ones that have put themselves there and they're keeping themselves there. And a lot of them turn to drugs because they don't know how to deal with all their issues. So they just coast along in life, coping as best as they can with drugs of various types. And in the process, they make poor choices because their mind is so clouded so often. Where was her father? It's not uncommon in low-income, uneducated families, and this doesn't have anything to do with race. It has everything to do with a lack of education and lack of income. They make poor choices of who they're going to lay down with. And they have babies that they know they can't afford, which just puts them in more of a state of governmental financial dependence. It's a trap, and I don't understand how people cannot see that trap for what it is. It just, my sister is non-pigmented as I am, and she was in that trap for a very long time. 3 kids. And it wasn't until she got to finally, after X amount of years, seeing that I was telling her the truth about all this, that she got out of it. Kentucky, unfortunately, incentivizes that trap. Indiana helped her get out of it, which was a good thing that she moved over there. I'm glad she did for that reason. And for the most part, my niece and my nephews have stayed out of trouble, which I'm very happy about. But getting away from that and getting on to, well, actually not really entirely away from that, but from what I'm hearing, I think it's as of next month, allegedly families and people with children are going to start getting between $250 to $350 a month, every month, just because they have kids, regardless whether they're working, what have you. I'm not sure what all the stipulations are. Basically, stimulus deposits for people with children. How much you want to bet there are going to be people with children who vote for Democrats? I bet you that's what's going to happen. Not going to surprise me a bit. Get ready for some serious increases in your income tax if you are still working. And I got news for you. All these countries that are invoking these COVID passports, I mean, granted, there are some countries where the government is actually doing it. Most of them, it seems like. And if it gets done, which I think it's going to, I don't think it's an if, I think it's a when. It's likely very well going to happen here. And I could be wrong, but I think it's going to likely be in well, you can't really even say just the Democrat states, because there are Republicans out there that are parading themselves about, or should I say, Democrats that are parading themselves around as Republicans. Which, like I've told you, and I've explained to you why, I think most of you understand where I'm coming from. You can't trust either one of them at all. Look at what's going on in Florida. I told you about that. He says he's not going to allow that kind of legislation to get passed or enforced, but then he's got mosquitoes that are being unleashed every week in the hundreds of thousands that are going to likely be injecting people with very serious diseases. So, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. But the places, well, most likely where this is going to happen first is going to be places that have Democrat mayors and governors. Fortunately, so far here in Kentucky, although we do have a Democrat in office in the city as well as Commonwealth, so far they've been reasonably sedate, other than their form of what they consider to be justice, which is not justice, because it's not justice for all. It's not justice of any kind. If you have pigment in your skin, you can do anything that you want and get away with it. Otherwise, you need to be very careful about even as much as crossing the street if there's a cop nearby, because they just might take you to jail. At any rate, what you gonna do? What I suggest is the same thing that I have suggested many times, the same thing that I said yesterday. Get your preps ready, because you don't know when you're going to have to bug out. It could be any time. We don't know how long it's going to be before these things happen. In Kentucky, I'm thinking that maybe it will wind up being a situation where the companies do that and the governor and the mayor maybe not. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Bashir, I don't like him, but I don't think that he's stupid. I really don't. I don't think that he is going to do something like that himself, because the fact of the matter is, our gun laws here in Kentucky are very laxed, thank God. Anybody that wants a gun who is 18 years old or older can pretty much have one. You don't have to have a license, as far as I am aware, to carry. You don't have to have a permit, no background check. As far as I'm aware, even to conceal carry, you don't have to have any kind of a license or permit, which I say is a good thing. Everybody should have the means of defending themselves. Everybody. I don't care what their age, what their mental status may be, or what it's been in the past. Everybody has the right to defend themselves, as long as they don't get stupid and go out and try and settle an argument or a dispute by shooting somebody. They should have a gun if they want one. I have one. I don't carry it around. I really should probably have it here instead of elsewhere, but I've got a BB pistol if I feel like I need to start carrying one. And I will if I need to. I'm not so sure I would necessarily need anything other than that. I don't know. We'll see. I hope not. Hopefully I won't even need the BB pistol. I don't really want to have to even use that. But I would rather inflict serious pain with a small projectile that travels 350 feet per second than to do such serious harm to someone that they might die. I can't say that necessarily about a lot of people in politics. I really wish that I could say I don't feel that way about them, but I just don't have any use for these people anymore at all. Haven't for a long time. At any rate, you don't know when this is going to happen in your city, in your state. So if you're anything like me and you're not going to get injected with something that you know is just going to kill you, then you need to be ready at any time to get the hell out of Dodge. We've got Biden trying to basically get everyone in the country audited by the IRS. That's not a good thing, because these people are so corrupt. They always have been. All they do is lie, cheat, and steal. And they will make up some kind of an astronomically high amount of money that you owe, whether you owe it or not. And if you don't pay it, then they will take it out of your pay. And they will likely take 2/3 or more every paycheck, leaving you with not enough to live on. So what do you do in that situation? You bug out. Give 2 weeks notice at your job if you need to, and bug out. That's what you do. At least you have some freedom. Yeah. And that's not even, of course, including the tax increases that are going to be on all of us that are still working. I mean, what are you going to do? Get the hell out of Dodge. But you're going to have to be ready to get the hell out of Dodge when the time comes. So, what does that mean? It means if you don't have your own property, like myself, you're going to need a tent. You're going to need to be somewhere where you can grow food. You're going to need organic seeds to do that. You're going to need tools. You're going to need to be near a clean, fresh water source. You know, there are lots of things that have to be taken into account and prepared for in advance. You need to do that now, because it could literally be any day for you. For me, we just don't know. So, get your stuff in order. That's all I can tell you. Be in the Word, definitely, because if you're anything like me, that's likely where your encouragement is coming from, is from God and His Word. Be in prayer for divine intervention every single day, because as I tell you, and I think you already know before I even say it, we need it now every single day more than ever. So don't stop praying, folks. I would suggest doing like Daniel did, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They set the prime example. Every day, 3 times a day, sunrise, noon, and sundown, they prayed. I don't think that would be a bad suggestion in this day and age. Actually, I think it would be a really good one. Till next time, Brother Ed, signing out with love.